Hey, what's up guys? I want to talk about Dying Light the Beast. Let's get into it. So first off, if we got to talk about visuals here, it's really just more Dying Light. It feels a lot more like the first Dying Light game, definitely visually wise, just in the more rural environments. Obviously, Haram being the first location is distinctly different to this one. Just something about like the tint of the colors, the color schemes just felt very similar to that game. The darkness of it, there's nothing really that's gonna blow your mind visually here. Like, it's a good looking game. I'm not saying it's a bad game by any means, but there wasn't anything that made me go, wow, this is a huge leap from the last entry in the series. Again, that is not saying it's a bad thing. It's just my opinion. But overall, I think visually it's a pretty decent game. Gameplay wise, the meat of it, it's fun. Like fighting the bad guys, fighting the zombies. It feels snappy. Dodging the attacks actually feels a little bit better this time around than it did in Dying Light 2. Definitely felt a little bit more smaller and focused. Obviously in the second one we had like the glider and all these other different mechanics that aren't really here in this one, which actually kind of bummed me out in my opinion. It almost felt like a bit of a step back gameplay wise. I liked Dying Light 2, I guess more than a lot of people did. I guess I must be the minority here. Like, I thought it was very interesting, all the different mechanics that were added into it. There is a new feature in this game, the beast mode thing that you do, which we kind of saw bits of a little bit in Dying Light 2 with Aiden. Kind of, you know, every once in a while he would just go into that mode. Now you're actually like triggering a beast mode with Kyle here. The only complaint I have really with the gameplay is that for a while it did sort of feel repetitive. There were just like points where I was like, dude, are we really searching another area? Like, do I really gotta go here and search for this again? Why can't we just move on to the next part? So it was like I really almost had to push myself through finishing this game. I'm not gonna lie. Just at certain points, once the story starts to really pick up, it's actually like, all right, now we're cooking. It sucks that it does kind of feel like this game doesn't start firing on all cylinders gameplay wise until like way later in the game. It definitely feels like it could have been a DLC. I'm just gonna say that. Like, I know it was originally going to be a DLC for Dying Light 2, and all of the elements of Dying Light are there. The night mode, it being scarier at nighttime, the areas you go during the daytime that are like more violent during the daytime because the zombies or whatever. Like, but there was really nothing new, or at least in my opinion. Maybe there was parts of the game I didn't experience, but the gameplay it's solid. It's not a bad game by any means gameplay wise. Just as far as like the mission layouts, they almost felt a little bit repetitive after a while. Story wise, the story itself is interesting. The story of Kyle Crane kind of coming back after being experimented on after a while and going after the Baron to get revenge, and meeting some pretty interesting characters. I won't say too much on the characters you meet because I mean it's still relatively new, so I don't want to spoil too much. But like, when it gets to like the end of the game, holy shit, I'm like, oh, all right, now we're cooking. Like, you guys are really paying attention to the story here. So I think the story itself was actually pretty decent. It was really just the mission layouts that I didn't enjoy. So overall, Dying Light the Beast is a pretty decent game. Your mileage is probably going to vary on it, just as far as like gameplay wise. Obviously the combat is still great, the parkour is still great. You have vehicles that you're driving around this time. It seems like it's really only one or two different types of vehicles. So that's kind of cool, because I know we had like the Doom buggies in one of the DLCs for the first one. But it still somehow felt like a bit of a step back compared to the second one. Obviously it was a DLC originally before it became a standalone experience, but it's overall solid for gameplay. The multiplayer seemed to work well. So yeah, that's my opinion on the gameplay wise. The story element was actually really good. The story was really good. I can't say it enough. The story I enjoyed. The story beats were nice. Some of the nods to different characters from previous entries in Dying Light was like, oh, all right, cool. And then when you get to the later half of the game or portion of the game, you're like, okay, all right. And now I really can't wait for the next entry of this game to come out. Like, honestly, the story alone was like top notch to me. The gameplay wise, like I said, combat was fun. There were complaints about just mission layouts and whatnot, but like the story was peak story in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think. That's my quick review on Dying Light the Beast. Let's talk about it down below. Are you enjoying it still? Peace.